this is TinyTableGames. Thanks for clicking on my video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already to help the little channel grow. And today it's time to talk about you and your legacy, or rather use legacy, not your legacy in particular, although I'm sure your legacy is very nice. But today we're going to try playing Legacy of You, which was a game I also picked up at Dice Tower East 2025 in the virtual flea market. I haven't played it. I know it's a solo game. It's apparently a campaign of some sort that goes over 7 or 8 events or play sessions according to the rulebook. It's all card-based with a nifty little box, so I'll show you what's inside and then we'll get started. The goal here is to just play through all 8 scenarios. So if you don't want to be spoiled for Legacy of You, maybe you don't watch, but at the same time it says that it's fully replayable because there's lots of option cards and you don't use all of them. You just the usual sort of scenario they use for card-based campaign games, which is you've got 8 choices, pick 2. And the other go back in the box, you never use them. So the next time you play, you can get different results. So that should be interesting. But in any case, let's get to it. So this is the setup for the game. First of all, shout out to the company because look at this box. It makes sure that you can reorganize everything. History, victories and defeat, setup cards, huts and canal cards, barbarian cards, townsfolk cards, and the story deck, which there's 1 to 69 of them, as you can see, and a little thing on the other side to keep you from reading it. So obviously that's going to be part of advancing the story. In addition, there's a storybook, which seems pretty clear, and is themed the same as the cards, so I'm sure that's going to come into play. And in the rule book, which is pretty straightforward, it says don't look at any of that stuff until you're prompted to, or you see the little golden beetle icon or turtle icon that looks like that, and it'll tell you which one to go look at. I have questions though. Why is this man using a tuning fork to fight water? Whatever. So down here is your deck. So basically peasants, if you will, are your stock and trade, and that's how everything gets done. And those are your basically 10 peasant cards that you start with. Here's the draw deck. You can recruit new peasants to deck build basically and draw in more to your deck. Whenever you have to shuffle your peasant deck, that's when the swamp or the floods advance. This is the flood token. These are actually cards that go over the top of the board spaces. And these are some of the cards I was telling you about where it's somewhat random. You just pick some of them, put them down, and put the rest back in the box, the other canal and hut cards. These are the huts down here. Those are the canal spaces. So the goal of the game is to build canals. And if you pull this card off, every time you build a canal, you have to go left to right. As you can see now, there's a canal there, so it drains water off, so it keeps the area from flooding. So like most games like this, as you progress and you build out your areas, then you can put more stuff down, collect more things. So zooming in just a bit so you can see the iconography better. And by the way, this is your boat to represent where you are and which canal spot you're working on. If the wave catches up to the boat, basically the game's over. If you run out of peasants, the game is over. Or up here in the other corner, you have barbarians. The main difference, visually speaking, is know that these are red and the peasant cards are not. If all of your slots up here are taken over by barbarians, you also lose. You draw this person into your hand, you can discard them or put them into their exhausted discard pile because you get 1 clay from them. So whatever this gray resource is, if you remove them from the game, you get the gray resource and the red resource. But removing them from the game is bad because that gives you fewer cards in your deck to work with. And if you ever can't draw or you run out of them, game's over. Down here, it allows you to add to your, this is the harvest symbol, the first step of the game. So this says that when you do your harvest action, you can get 1 yellow meeple out of it. There's basically 1 slot for each hut that you build out. And that means that every time you get to the harvest section, you'll get 1 extra yellow meeple. Similarly, if you have a farm built during harvest, for each farm you have built, then it starts to give you extra resources. So the first thing we do is harvest. And for the harvest step, we check on the board, what can we harvest? We can't harvest anything from barns because we don't have anything down there yet. So we just harvest from here. So that's plus 4 cards. So we draw 4. We get 1 white meeple, the laborer, to use. We get 1 shell, 1 sack of groceries, and that's it. Thing to note about creating the canal is whatever's at the bottom is what you get. And the little gray 0 in the corner there just tells you that that's one of the starter cards for when you're separating out your decks at the end for whatever pops up in the story cards. Take actions, so we can cash in this guy to get another white meeple, so we will discard him. We will discard her for groceries and a coin. Additionally, we could try to recruit new townsfolk. This one is free. It doesn't cost you any groceries / provisions. This one is not free, costs 1, costs 1, costs 2, costs 2, and so on. It makes sense to not take the free guy at this time, so we will recruit him. We're gonna need a yellow and 2 blue, so we can at least use this guy to get a yellow to fight off the barbarian hordes. We don't have enough yet, but we're getting there. So both of these workers go back to the supply, as do both of these little shells. So we're back to no shells and no employees. But this gets removed. That collected, notice the back of this has a 1 or a 2, so there's some 1 or 2 canal cards, 3, 4 canal cards, or 5, 6 canal cards. That helps just arrange it for the game. So it's different each time, because there's unused canal cards still in the box. Okay, the other thing these little squares do is as you build out these little farms and huts and whatevers, you can put them on any of these squares. It basically gives it a place to go, and you get a one-time bonus out of it. Also, that's a way of controlling how fast you can build these out, because if there's no place to put it, you can't build it. So it's kind of a forced control situation, which I suppose makes sense for anything, but we're gonna tuck them under here. Harvest time will automatically get a clay and an extra money. We have 1 meeple and 1 spot to put him in, so we'll play him there to pick up 1 grocery sack. And that's that. It's now time to return the barge. Reset it so you know that this is the one you're working on now. Let's see, now suffer attacks. They either destroy, in this case that means to take the top card of your deck and to get rid of it out of the game, or bribe them with 1 wood. So for the moment we're gonna bribe them, because I don't want to lose cards. So goodbye 1 wood. Let's see, so doing the harvest thing, we still get 4 cards, 1 white meeple, 1 shell, 1 sack of groceries, and it's icon limited. When you run out of stuff, or token limited, when you run out of it, you just don't get it. We get a brick and another shell, I almost forgot. Brick and another shell. First we'll recruit the free guy, who will give us a laborer when his time comes around. All right, I'm gonna sack this guy out of the game for 2 blue, because I don't want barbarians at my gate. We will spend 1 grocery to recruit this person into our discard pile, or excuse me, our exhaust anything else. So 2 more groceries, a yellow, and a clay. Use the 2 blue and the yellow to sack the barbarian. Take that, and they get discarded out of the game. They don't come back happily. Also, I should mention that whatever space they're in, you have to spend that many resources, so it takes 3 sacks of groceries for some reason to get that far up the river to attack this barbarian. And as a bonus, we get 1 seashell, that's nice, and plus 1 card, which I have to look up what that icon actually means. Draw 1 card from the top of your ready pile, not optional. Huh. So I guess there's good and bad to that. So we take the top card. Well, we will recruit a red meeple. I will use this newly recruited red meeple to collect another grocery bag. Oh, we still have to go look up number 3 for flipping that over. Forgot all about that. To the east of our camp was nearing completion. Storms have been assailing us like the horrible breath of a dragon, forever slowing our progress. The men have become weary. I have been focusing on completing this work with such intent that I allow carelessness to creep in. A short break in the torrent provides us only a moment to proceed. While I was overseeing the last reinforcement on the canal, I received word from camp that a fire had broken out and part of the camp was ablaze. With so many hands away at the canal, the fire raged like a beast, and despite valiant efforts from those still close by, the scorched mess is all that remains of our food store and the tent surrounding it. We have been foraging heavily to feed the workers to keep everyone strong. A concentrated and extended effort will be needed to restore what was lost. A fool may take some solace in the stories coming from the camp that this was the work of Wu Shi Kui, the monkey demon of the river. I think I will put my energy into figuring out how to restore our food supply rather than chasing spirits. The burden of this oversight will hang over me for a long time, not unlike the storm cloud that now gathers once again. At least the canal is done. File the completed canal card in the box under History. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so that's a thing that happened in this event. That's cool. Find card 16 in the story deck and place it alongside the board with the side shown below face up. This is a food shortage card. Well, that's cool. I'm glad they have food shortage cards. So here's a little deck, and then you can just kind of look in the corner there for card 16 so you don't ruin everything else. Card 16. Well, yep, sure enough, monkey's eating the food. That's great. Rules for winning the game. You will also now need to fulfill the requirements of this card. You cannot claim victory if it remains unfulfilled. Great. If you are defeated, the food shortage cards will follow you to your next game during setup in the same manner. It will remain in all future games until you fulfill it. Oh, all right. Well, great. Let's see. In order to fulfill the food shortage card, you must place 3 townsfolk cards from your hand onto the food shortage card in the sequence shown. Each townsfolk card placed must feature the indicated food icon on its left side. To be clear, the first townsfolk card must feature milk, the second fish, and the third meat. After placing the third townsfolk, turn to the indicated entry in the storybook. You gain no other benefit from placing these townsfolk here other than progressing towards fulfilling the food shortage. Cool. Well, let's see. This guy has meat, so I think I will use one of my groceries to recruit him in the process. She has fish. Let's see, we got meat and water and wheat. We only have 2 waters, several wheat, some fish. We're probably okay on that front at this point. The boat never left, so it stays there. Slide the townsfolk to the left. Fill in the barbarian. We still only have 1. And this barbarian will require 2 black meeples and a blue meeple. Or we can bribe him with groceries. Oh, that's easy. Prepare to be bribed. All right, and filling in the townsfolk. There we go. That's that. We have to draw our cards now for harvest. And there's only 1 card left, so we have to shuffle. And shuffling means that the wave moves. But happily, if it moves on to one of these cards or off the edge of the board, we immediately lose. But that didn't happen to us. So we just got to shuffle up and draw our other 4 cards for harvest. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll recruit the freebie. Let's see, we'll get our meeple and our shell and our grocery pack and our additional brick of clay and another additional coin. DT. Okay, so we are rolling in it. So the first thing we're going to do is use 2 laborers and 2 coins to trench out another thing. Now, there's another story point on here, so I'm sure it's going to be a mess. But anyway. So, notice we can trade 2 coins for a sack of groceries now, or we can discard a card for 2 coins, I think that is. It means if you put a building here, you get a sack of groceries as a bonus, 1 coin as a bonus, or any color meeple you want as a bonus. That's a real tempting one. It also is going to increase our barbarian count by 1, though. But I mean, you got to do it to win the game, so what are you going to do? In any case, we get yet another hunk of clay, 1 piece of wood, which we badly need, and number 42. Another canal completed. Another band of rebels seen scouting the camp along the river. The floodwaters flow away from the essential lands and into streams and rivers, creating safe land to farm and settle. It is my hope that these men and women will see the restoration of this land and come to help complete this righteous work. In later seasons, we will need to create more canals to take the flood all the way to the sea where it can finally rest. But for today, we will celebrate the work of our hands. File the constructed canal card in the box under History. Check. Find card 46 in the story deck and place it face down on top of the barbarian draw to pile. 46. We have a wood and a clay. What we don't have is a laborer anymore. Haha. So, rats. Do we have any cards that give us a white laborer? We sure do. So we are going to ditch this one for a white laborer at the moment. So there we go. And that will allow us to, which do we want to do here? We've got 3 clay, 1 wood, and the laborer, so we can either make a hut, which gives us another spot to tuck stuff under for when we do harvest, or we can build a farm, which is less expensive, gives us a one-time bonus, and then gives us 1 extra laborer every time, but doesn't take a card out. Well, let's see, what cards do we have here? Oh, if we do this one, we get automatically get a dark meeple. There's something to be said for that. So we are going to build the hut. 3 clay, 1 meeple, and a wood. Back to the supply, because we had so much clay building up anyway. We were about to gum up our shoes. I'm sure it'd be unpleasant. And we get 1 shell for it. I notice it gives us another place to put a meeple. So yes, it does in fact mean if you put a laborer there, you can get any color that's not a white laborer, so any other person. We have a red and a yellow. So I'm going to put the yellow one there because I don't think I need it for anything else right now. In order to recruit a black meeple, and keeping an eye on that barbarian. Let's see. I can't use the other meeple for anything at the moment. Oh yeah, and I got to put my hut somewhere, so I'm going to put it on this one, which lets me recruit yet another meeple as a one-time reward. So I might as well just recruit, let's see, do I have anything else? Let's see, a white, a yellow, and a clay. Well, I know I can recruit a blue meeple elsewhere, but I'm feeling tense about that, so I'll make the other one a blue meeple. All right, now what? Let's say I could buy a wood, which I think I will, for 3, using this conversion over here. So I've got 2 clay and a wood and 3 worker meeples. I might as well use this one to get some groceries, because they come back at the end of the round, so it doesn't really harm anything. Let's see, do I want to tuck any of these remaining guys? Recruit black meeple, draw a card. I think recruit dark meeple is going to be the way to go. That way I know for sure I have that to beat the barbarians back before I have to shuffle and fight them. Well, I'm going to have to fight them anyway, but still, I can just bribe them with groceries for now. So is that a wise thing to do? I still got to use that dang fish though. Ah, boy. Decisions. Am I ever going to need a yellow meeple for anything else? Probably fighting those guys. That's going to be about it. And those just generate meeples. So I'm not sure if that's the... And I have this exposed, so I can always recruit another meeple. So I don't think I'm going to do that. I will instead just use them to, for the moment, recruit a yellow meeple. Recruit another laborer. Now that presents some options. So use this guy to recruit another laborer. So we will cash in 1 clay, 1 laborer, and 1 wood. Although I only get 1 clay per round. Ooh, that's tough. Especially since the next one requires 3 laborers. So maybe, oh boy, that's tough. And this is just another clay. So we'll cash him in for another clay right off the bat. So 3 clay, a meeple. So should I just build another hut? Under said hut. Let's see, how would I get 3 white meeples though for this? Although I don't have to do it this turn because it's not going to come right up. All right, so because the wave is not going to crash into us this turn, because it only comes up when we shuffle, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 2 more turns before that's going to happen. So we're going to spend the 3 clay, the worker, and the wood we just bought to make another hut. Hut, hut. And that will be Resolve Story Thing 11. Oh, that's exciting. And I need to put this somewhere. I have two choices at the moment. Groceries or money. I got plenty of groceries, so we're gonna go money. And now we have to look at storybook point number 11. And it's all random when you shuffle these up and lay them out. So it's kind of fun that you don't know if or when that event's ever gonna happen, if you should you play it again. So I see how they say there is replayability. It's kind of interesting. Okay. While walking among the workers today, I spoke with a forester, Thomas the Forester, it's not in there, who had the most wonderful ideas about the ways we were using trees as we fell as we dig. This will surely make our work easier. File the constructed hut card in the box under history. Okay. Check. Find card 40 and file it in the box under huts and canals for future games. Oh, well, that's interesting because it is a campaign. So, where are you? That's the back of the deck. That's very interesting. Now notice when we build this next one, it's going to cost 3 laborers, 2 money, and the reward is going to be 1 clay, 1 wood, and then 2 discarded cards. I don't know how that's a reward, but they say in the rule book, it's like, well, just think of it as that's how much the laborer's effort, the price of the effort, I guess. It's like, oh, thanks. But this new one does open up an additional spot to put a laborer, which we still have in abundance at the moment. So we'll drop another laborer down here and pick ourselves up another wood, I think, because we still need those for future use. Let's see, we have 2 money, so that'll be enough for that. Now we just have to focus on accumulating 3 more laborers. But that is it for the actions, I think. I don't think there's anything else we want to do unless we want to recruit somebody. Let's see. Man, a lot of people with just groceries up there right now, huh? Let's see, we got 2 fish people, a corn, a meat, a wheat, and that's it. So we will use grocery to grab this one because it's pretty much the same as the rest. So the next thing up is return the barge. And now suffer the attacks. So for each barbarian, they either destroy a card and throw them off to the discard, or we bribe them with groceries. So 1 grocery bribe right there. And now it's time to refresh the line. So these folks slide down. These are not my favorite ever. And now let's see, fulfilling the barbarians, slide any remaining barbarian cards to the left. Okay, so they slide down too, because now we're at 2 barbarian cards. So here's the guy who got put in from the story deck. Okay, time to gather resources. Oh yeah, and our meeples return. So we are replete with meeples at this point. So harvest time. First thing we're gonna do, let's see, what cards do we have? Hey, we got a water. So we are going to toss this guy onto the water. We do not have a fish, but that guy's locked in now, so at least we can focus on the fish next time. In fact, we're just going to recruit this guy for free fish. Now let's see. So if we take this yellow meeple and put him here, that'll generate another black meeple here. And then we'll take our 2 black and 1 blue, discard them along with 3 groceries. One, two, 3, to get rid of this guy because he's the closer threat. And he gives us 1 laborer and 1 coin. And he gets discarded. Okay, so why is that helpful? Well, we're closer to our what we need, 1 more laborer, and we're there for digging out. We need more groceries. Let's see. So if we put let's see, if we do 3 meeples, we can get rid of her at the same time. And happily, we've got somebody who we can recruit, so we're going to use her to recruit another red. Granted, that's going to destroy it, but what are you going to do? We can use him for 2 groceries. 1 labor, 1 clay, and 1 wood to build a barn, which will give us, when we recruit, 1 extra meeple, laborer, and we only got 1 place we can put it, which is right here, which gets us a sack of groceries. And I'm going to guess the future ones, oh, that's interesting, sack of groceries, and any color meeple except a laborer. That's interesting. So it changes each time. We're going to put this meeple down here to get another wood, since those guys come back when you do that. Do it. So 3 groceries and 3 meeples of any color, which are what these are, non-laborer meeples. That gets rid of this one and gives us 1 card from the top of the deck. And where does that card go? To hand. That's cool. So this card is now in our hand along with this one. And here's what we drew. So let's see, if we use him to recruit a yellow meeple, we can then put that yellow meeple here to get some groceries. Just use her to recruit 1 more wood. So refresh card alley. So this comes down here. The barbarians pop out. And that one gives you 3 money if you beat him and bribe him with wood. Bribe that one, oh, with a worker, that's harsh. All right, and 1 new townsfolk. Okay, and we're back to harvesting. We still have that stupid problem over here. So harvesting, we get 1 laborer here, and all these guys come back. 1 laborer here, 4 cards. Don't have to shuffle, so that'll be the last time that happens before the wave moves forward, but we're already safe in that regard. 1 more laborer, 1 more shell coin, 1 sack of groceries, and that's it. Oh, and another clay, and another sack of groceries, and another coin. So we're at 2 groceries, way too many coins, and a bunch of laborers. Let's be sure we're doing everything we want to do first. We got 3 laborers, so we're good on that front, and 2 coins. We drew cards. So we're going to tunnel, or rather use 3 laborers and 2 coins, and we get the rewards of 1 clay, which is nice, 1 wood, also nice, and destroy the top 2 cards of your ready deck, / put them in the discard pile. So I guess that was a hard work on that one. And nothing else happened, so it just goes back to canal file. All right, cool. So I have to shuffle these up, and then we'll get rid of the top 2. Okay, to the discard pile with you, number 1 and number 2. Thank you for your service. Okay, so we will recruit the freebie, obviously, to keep things running here. Have done well. We have endured with simple, rational food. Okay, saving whatever we can for the leaner times, we are starting to see the food store fill once again. It is meager, but the workers are inspired. Work has been hard, but having a full stomach goes a long way to keeping someone going. Well, that's true. Don't want hangry workers. I have, however, been meditating on the events that led to this situation we now find ourselves in. Before the fire, we had been beset by storms and rain, not hospitable conditions for a fire to swell. Uh-oh. For now, there is still food to gather and store. A few extra stores of grain is not enough to see us through the winter. I will need to talk to those who were here in camp when the fire broke out. Perhaps I should start looking for monkeys in the river. I don't know why that would matter. Filed the completed food shortage card in the box under history. Things that happened in the game. That's pretty cool. Place the townsfolk cards that were on the food storage card into the discard pile. No! So I don't get them in the exhausted pile, they all go to the discard. 1, 2, 3. That's painful. They're just out. Wow, all right, that sucks. Find card 21 in the story deck and file it in the box under other setup cards for future games. This will be in the next game, which will be a fish, a meat, and a wheat. And then you'll get a coin and go to 23, which will probably tell you that everything's destroyed again or something. That also drives the flood forward because we had to shuffle the cards, even though we lost a bunch of them. Okay, and it takes a wood and a black meeple to bribe them this time. Huh. We lost a lot of cards that time, so I'm not sure what we're gonna do with that. I think we'll convert this yellow one to get a black one, so we got a black meeple and a wood, so we can bribe the barbarians this time, because I don't think we're gonna really amass enough of them to do anything. And we're gonna need 6 groceries. We got 2 right now. I can put somebody, well, I can just buy some. 2 for 2 coins for some groceries. Last 2 cards. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Groceries and a coin. Thank you, ma'am. And a laborer, which we will absolutely make use of right this very second. Because we got a little breathing room with the flood. So laborer and a clay and 3 wood, not counting the bribery woods, allows us to convert. Now, let's see, right now we want yellow to be the same as white because we have a lot of yellow. Yeah, that'll do. And do we have any place to put this though? Oh no. Oh yes, we do, because we just got that. So we get 1 grocery. Phew, and this all goes away. Otherwise, if you have no place to put the building, you can't do that activity. So now the white meeple counts as yellow, which means you can use white worker meeples up for fighting barbarians too. So we're gonna need 6 groceries for fighting barbarians. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right now. Let's see, we have 1 clay. Let's see, we'll use 2 more shells to pick up another bag of groceries. So now we have enough groceries for fighting both barbarians. We're out of cards. Is it going to be wise to recruit again right now? I don't think we need to bother really. Okay, so next up is put the boat back. So that tells you where the next development, next canal has to be constructed. I think we're doing pretty good. Now the barbarians attack, so we'll bribe them with wood and a meeple. And notice this one did not increase the barbarian count, which I'm happy about. I'm sure this one will though. And now slide down. The barbarians stay where they are because we're limited to 2 still. And this person pops up. Harvest, I should say. So we harvest a worker. That sounds terrible. Another worker. From there. 1 shell. Also from there. 1 bag of groceries. We're almost out of grocery tokens. Also from there. And because we have 1 of those built, we get 1 extra shell. And then down here, 1 clay and 1 shell. And of course, draw 4 cards. And we have how many left? 4. So we've got 4 left, so we'll have 1 more turn before the wave advances again. All right, what do we need to do? We either need to get rid of those guys. Oh, and these yellow guys come back. Drop him right there, and 1 red. So I think the next thing we're gonna do is spend 3 groceries. 1, 2, 3. And 2 yellow workers and this red worker to get rid of this guy. Recruit the freebie. We're going to tuck her to get a wood and a coin every turn. 3 coins for a piece of wood. This one now to come over here. We don't need more money. We'll gather another piece of wood. So we can spend 1 grocery to recruit this person, just to add to our volume of available employees. Use him for labor, because the barbarians are expensive, but I don't know, I don't want to ditch the card yet, so we'll just use it for grocery and cash. That one wants a black meeple to be bribed with, and I don't have one this turn. Rats. And I can't recruit one either. Well, that's going to be a problem in a minute. I've got to lose a card for that one. So that's awful. I will spend one more grocery to recruit this person, just because I know I'm about to lose somebody else. Oh look, and we get this one, can recruit black meeples. So I will spend 2 more groceries. Well, if I do that, I can just wait for that one to be free, because I'm going to lose that anyway. So that's it for there. Didn't build that, so the boat doesn't have to return. The meeples come home. Meeples come home. Barbarians attack. In this case, it just lose the top card to the discard. Now the slide to the left. One hop this time. Dun. Oh, look at that, same sort of thing, almost exactly. Except it takes cash to bribe that guy, which is easier than finding sticks in the forest, strangely. All right, there we are. That's an interesting start to the round. First thing we're going to do is recruit this one who lets us get black meeples for free. That's super important. But we also need to do our little starting routine. So 4 cards for harvesting, so we don't have to push the wave forward yet. 1 white meeple here. There's the 4 cards, another white meeple. 1 coin, 1 sack of groceries, another coin because of the, construction there. Another clay, or first clay I should say, and another coin, and then a wood and a coin. Almost all the coins. All right. So. We've got 4 worker meeples, all the coins you could want. The first thing we got to do is clear this out, because until we do that, we're not going to have space to make our meeple equivalencies, which is going to be real handy. So, 3 workers and 2 coins to dig another drainage ditch. So, we move the boat for now, dig a canal space. That's going to increase the barbarian threat, but it gives us 2 places to put things. That's nice. And we get 1 clay, 1 wood, yep, and lose 2 cards. Cool. We'll have to shuffle the deck to do that. So these go into the canal thing. That moves the wave forward, and we still have to discard 2 cards after the shuffle. So let's see what we're getting rid of. Number 1, grocery lady. Number 2, grocery man, or another grocery lady. So honestly, that was probably the best possible outcome of that. So 1 worker, 1 clay, and 3 of our large pile of wood. Make more meeple equivalencies, and we'll put this one here so we get the red one. Not the red one. So now the worker is the same as a blue, is the same as a yellow, so that's cool. Let's see. If I put the red one here, we can generate a black one to avoid losing another card for bribery purposes. And 2 coins, so I'm just going to accept that we're going to have to bribe that one out now, I think, this turn, because we're down to 1 meeple, but we got 4 cards. Let's see. We can generate 2 more, which is probably the thing to do, white and yellow. Let's see, 2 groceries. So we'll take advantage of that. Well, it takes a lot of supplies to get out there to beat up barbarians. And with this guy, do we want an extra yellow meeple each turn? Because now he's equivalent, so that might be worthwhile on recruitment time. It does cost us another card, but we're going to do it because we're almost there, and we're going to start needing yellow meeples on the regular. So we got a lot of options here now. We can bribe those two and avoid losing 6 meeples worth of workers at the moment. We have 2 workers, 2 laborers and a yellow one, a stack of coins. So we can do all sorts of things. So I think we're gonna use 1 laborer, 1 clay, and 1 wood to build another farmhouse, because we have 1 more build spot left. Because this farmhouse, when we harvest, lets us pick any other meeple. So we'll get a yellow meeple, 2 white meeples, and that. So we'll generate 4 meeples every time we do harvest, which is going to be very helpful for finishing out the game, I think, especially with the equivalency things we have set up. So that said, another thing we need to do, since we're not worrying about fighting barbarians this round, is recruit more cards. Even if they're not exactly the card we want, it's better than 0. I think we'll recruit that one too, because we're losing a lot of cards, to be honest. So we could buy stuff, but we don't need to yet. Notice we can buy another employee for 4 gold now, or shells. So we're on to the next phase after the actions, which is return the barge. So it's up to here now. We recover our meeples who were hanging out in the village. Meeple town. We bribe the barbarians with 1 meeple and 2 shells. Now it's time to slide everybody down. Let's see. So time to recruit / harvest. So 1 laborer and 1 meeple of another color. Let's see, we're gonna need a blue one. Wow, look at that. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is recruit the freebie, because it's the same as a blue now, and get rid of this one. Because this one will give us another labor right now and another shell. And why is that helpful? Because we can drop this guy on here to pick up another laborer, which in this case will be another red one. So now we'll have enough 2 white, a red, and a blue, along with 3 shells. 1, 2, 3. And we can tunnel away. Do we want to do that yet, though? Let's see, we'll have 1 dude left. Oh yeah, we got to burn 2 groceries, by the way, to take out that barbarian. First, I'm going to spend 4 coins. 1, 2, 3, 4, to buy another worker. There. So then I can spend these 3, which now count as yellow, yellow, blue, to get rid of her. And if I hadn't spent those coins, I couldn't get the reward of 2 coins and a stick. So she's out. So that makes the bribery easier this time. So we just use 2 coins and take care of that. So I'm just going to put those up here so I don't lose track of them. Let's see. Boy, we got so much money now. We're going to need 3. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops, spend 4 to buy another worker. So 2 white laborers, 1 red laborer, and white's the same as blue laborer, plus 3 coins, or 3 shells, equals more canals. So destroy 2 cards. Well, I would like to keep that one, but whatever. Item number 24. I had been waiting hours for my workers to return from finishing our most recent canal. Oh, so sorry, dude. When a shout came up from the edge of the tents, the workers had returned, but they were bloodied and tired. Barbarians had been roaming nearer and nearer to our camps. There's only 1 left. Scouting for ways they can hurt our efforts. File the constructed canal card in the box under history. Check. So I guess it can't happen again is the point there on future games. That's interesting. Find card 34 in the story deck and file it in the box under Huts and Canals for future games. Wow, look at that one. It's going to take 4 and 3, and then you get 1 clay and lose 3 cards. Yikes. What do we got? Let's see. We can get another worker. That's helpful. We can collect 2 more wood. 5, 6. That'll bring us up to 6 wood, so that's nice, I guess. So that's enough to build those out, so we can put those there. And this one, groceries and a shell. Okay, that's all the cards out of hand. We got 1 meeple left to do something with, but we can place him here and draw anything but white's equivalent to blue and yellow. So we'll draw a blue guy, and then we'll use this blue guy, the clay, and 3 wood to increase our equivalency count. Let's see, we're gonna need yellow and red, so we'll make the red equivalent, and then we'll put this guy up here, which gives us a 1-time blue meeple. So he comes into the supply, the wood goes, the clay goes, this other blue guy goes. Let's see. And honestly, we still have enough to do it again. So 3 wood, a clay, and a worker, because it's equivalent to him now. So we'll dump him 2 into there, into there, into here. Build this guy out, collect a yellow meeple. And now all the meeples are the same. And we've got a lot of groceries and 1 brick and 2 shells. What are we gonna do with that? So the boat comes back. He's on the last space now. We're doing pretty good. We bribed the barbarian. So those go away. These shift down. Oh, that's weird. He's got a plot point. Huh, interesting. Might have to take him out just to see what it is. And I have to shuffle the discard deck over here. Rest of the refreshing, which is return the meeples who are just hanging out in town. That's 3 of them. And now we're back up to harvest. We can do that first thing. 3 groceries to get out there. And a black, a yellow, and we'll count this one as another black. And that will get rid of him. And that brings us to story point 22. The cheers of victory were still ringing in our ears when a hush fell over the battlefield. The fight appeared to be over, but then something stirred in the dust and blood. Oh, great. A brute of a man who had fought to overcome our forces, blood streaming down his side, was rising. Staggering to his feet, his sword still in his hand, he turned back towards our men, lifted his head high, and tightened his grip, ready for more. File the defeated barbarian card in the box under history. Check. Find card 36 and place it face up into the space where he was. Huh, okay. Oh, see, now he's even angrier. That's funny. Oh, and another plot point. Oh, interesting. Before I forget though, let's see, we're gonna need 2 shells to bribe that guy. 2 shells to bribe this guy. Spend 4 to grab another, oh, there he is, another person. If I put this one here and collect a shell, now we have all we need to finish tunneling out, but I still want to use 2 more meeples to see what happens in that story. If I sack this guy, I can get 2, and that'll do the job. So you are discarded, good sir. But we will generate 2 meeples, doesn't matter what color, because they're all the same. Use these 3 groceries to get out to there again. And see what 32 is. A shout of triumph, cheers of victory. The enemy was falling back, their champion finally failing to your own brave fighters. We thought he would never go down again, but this time he wasn't getting back up. Filed the defeated barbarian in the box under history. Okay. Gain 1 wood, 1 clay, and 2 shells. So 3 shells, a red, a yellow, and 2 whites. Not that it matters because they're all identical now. That's pretty expensive, to be honest, to do that. So they all get discarded. Then we have to throw away 2 cards. And now we can pick it up and resolve number 5. In all that I have to deal with in this grand task, I never thought that I would be flooding homes myself. Earlier this morning, we released water into a canal we had been digging. It is a sight to see, the water being sent on a course we intend, a beast tamed. It has happened many times now, and every time it brings me joy and a new sense of hope that we can achieve what my father could not. Which is in the lore for the start of the game. It says Dad tried this and it didn't work out. This morning, however, brought not only the divine sense of accomplishment, but also a man. A hermit from scene 34. From the look of him, it seemed that in the course of diverting the floodwaters, we have sent the river into his home and destroyed it. Thankfully, he was not at home at the time and thus can stand before us. But he is failing to see the benefit of this without a home to go back to. Perhaps I will talk him into joining our camp? Well, duh. The tools he carried looks well used, and I'm sure his strength would be better used than berating poor Bo Yi. Filed the completed canal card in the box under history, so no repeats. Find card 4 and file it in the box under huts and canals for future games. Wow, so it's going to take 4 and 3, and it's just basically all these developments just make it harder to make these later. So that's awesome. It's just making it harder in the future, which it has to a certain extent, because since you put those into the history section, they're out of play, so you need another card to replace it anyway. Find card 5 in the story deck and place it face up in your exhausted pile. Oh. So here's the guy whose house we flooded. Oh, look at that. You can discard him for any meeple, or you can generate a wood run and 2 wood. Oh, that's a good card to have. Discard him for a clay and a meeple, I guess. 3 clays and a wood. And the meeple we just got. Oh, and look at that. That triggers event number 1. Golly. I guess that's another good reason to try doing that stuff. There's just story happening all over the place. The promised workers arrived this morning. Among them was a young man, skilled and honorable in his trade. He settled into this camp and will be valuable in the work ahead. File the card under history and find card 10 in the story deck and add it to your hand. Interesting. So here's the talented young worker. Now we just suffer a tax, but we bribed everybody, so that doesn't matter. And that's that. We win. If you win the game, turn over the top victory card. This will direct you to read an entry from the storybook. If you turned over the gold victory card or defeat card, you finish the campaign. So over here, you randomly shuffle. There are 3, 6, 7 victory cards and 7 defeat cards. And the last one is golden on each. So obviously the very end of the campaign is not going to change, either win or you lose. But the order in which you encounter these events certainly will. It's 35. Dearest Tushinashi, another year has passed, and once more I see the fruit of our labor. The floodwaters move ever closer to the sea, and more land is safe from the ravages. The people of this region will not find the next year easy, but surely it will feel the way given the trials of the past. As I sit and watch the waters rushing in our canals, I feel great joy, but when I look to where they flow and the task ahead, I can only feel the pull of home. Translation, there's more to do next year, bro. To see your radiant face and that of my children, that desire surges in me like the great floods I seek to tame, but I will go on. There is a word of more trouble further towards the coast. A great barbaric stronghold has been restored, and to continue our work downriver, it must be overcome. Oh. As distance tests a horse's strength, time reveals a person's character. File the victory card in the box under history, of course. No wonder these cards get all mixed up. Find card 67 in the story deck and file it in the box under other setup cards. This is the fortress card. Okay, card 67. That's way back here. There's 69 cards total, so. Yep, that looks like a fortress card. Interesting. Your games, place the fortress card face up in the rightmost space above the board. So where the barbarian normally goes, the starting barbarian. When placing a barbarian card into the space, place it in such a way that you can still see the work required to attack the fortress as well as the damage bribe shown along the bottom. Barbarian cards will still move in and out of the space as they slide to the left, but the fortress card will never move. In this way, the most recently revealed barbarian card will always be inside the fortress. The fortress and the barbarian card in its space must be attacked simultaneously. Oh. Unless you cannot attack the barbarian card unless you can also destroy the fortress. This stat still only costs 3 provisions, not 6. I see. Destroying the fortress is not required to win the game. Yeah, but I'm sure there's an interesting plot point if you destroy the fortress, because it plot 45. So we'll put that in the other thing along with our famine card for next time. Huh. And there we go. So there you have it. We achieved total victory, I suppose. At least we beat the floods out and developed the town and didn't get overrun by barbarians. So that definitely counts as victory as far as this game is concerned. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's Legacy of You, Year 1. I'm definitely going to just keep playing right on through this one because it seems pretty quick and entertaining, and it would be interesting to see how the story develops such as it is and how the puzzles carry on. So like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment if you enjoyed this one. I'm Ray. This is Tiny Table Games. I'll see you next time, and I hope you have a great day.